Hey everyone, I'm Greyshot17, and today I'm covering Starship Troopers Terran Command Raising Hell. What a name. This DLC for the main game, I actually got a code for from the publisher. Also, the developer has made some comments in my YouTube videos, give me thumbs up and some stuff, so shout out to them. They're awesome when they do pop up in my videos, usually talking about their great game, which I did really like Starship Troopers Terran Command. Now let's get into Raising Hell. It is a 7-mission DLC that's priced about $10. That is about a third of what missions compared to the original. Now, the thing about that is, okay, the original is worth 30, this is worth 10. An easy worth, right? Well, we'll get to that. But I will say, let me get with all the positives, and there are actually quite a few. First, the setting. The original game was set on Quilasha, which was more of a desert. There was some urban places, but in military bases, but that's the main environment you were fighting in, right? This is very different. This is almost a hellscape. It's a planet that is entirely almost volcanic in nature, which is great for getting resources, which is what a corporation exploits, but it also leads to lakes of pure lava, which you're fighting on, which again, really, really cool. So again, a very unique environment that they bring to life, and I think every single mission provides a different aesthetic to that environment that makes things unique. Like you have an industrial planet with literal bridges over lava to underground caverns, and there's also environmental hazards like exploding pits that it will both hurt your troops and bugs alike. Now, this also encompasses, actually I thought was a pretty good story. Nothing exceptional, but I still thought it was pretty good, with a good ending as well that fits the Starship Troopers universe. While you're fighting in that story and in that environment, you also get new units, because a new quote-unquote faction, but really it's just a handful of playable units from said corporation, mercenaries specifically, are being incorporated to the mobile infantry. These aspects include different types of frontline soldiers. While you have some similar units like a flamethrower, it also incorporates other things like a frontline shotgun unit that also can double as a grenadier unit, so it fires grenades long range. A one-man but amazing machine gun turret guy, and a mech that can heal while fighting hand-to-hand against the bugs. And the arachnids also come with the different variants, a couple that fly, a couple on the ground, many that explode upon impact, and all fire-based. So it's some really good, very specific arachnids for that environment. None are as annoying as the scorpions, by God, those scorpions, but I still thought they were all enjoyable to fight and had their own charm as how you deal with them. Now, I will say this is, for the objectives, this is more of the same, similar to the base game, so don't expect any radical differences. And it's also, I will say, nothing exceptional in terms of there wasn't a mission I'm like, oh my god, that blew my mind, but they're all still very well designed, and I do like the environments you fight in as you navigate a bug nest, a industrial area, just a volcanic region, whatever you end up fighting in. I thought there was a nice amount of variety to them. The difficulty is something that is more in line with the second half of Starship Troopers, in my opinion, more so than the first. So in the first Starship Troopers Terran Command, or the main game, there was a jump and a very steep difficulty, for me at least. I would say around mission 10, and that on, things got real tough. Now, especially because I play on the hardest difficulty, which when I got to Stalingrad in the base game, that just caused me to absolutely freak out. And that's why I didn't cover more stuff, because it's like, all right, I need time to relax before I jump back into the main game and play all the remaining missions on the hardest difficulty. Now, these are as well just as difficult, or at the very least, the ramping up to difficulty is a lot quicker. So expect that when you're going into this, if you're playing on the hardest difficulty, it's similar to the second half more so than the first half of the main game. Now, I will say for the price, personally, I think $10 for the content is worth it, but with a few caveats, because there are some cons. First up, there are some bugs. This could be just simply units shaking and just freaking out upon trying movement, or messing up when trying to navigate terrain. Again, smaller stuff, but when you're trying, especially on the higher difficulty, trying to micromanage units and they're not firing at a target and just standing there doing nothing, you're like, okay, what are you doing? that can be a little bit frustrating. There's also, again, just, it's a lot of good, not great. Like, there's a scene with nukes, and without going into spoilers, you don't, the explosive kaboom that you want to see from them, you don't really get. You get them placement, and you get, like, a little story recap, but you don't really get that catastrophic kaboom or, you know, the big sort of payoff. And that's some of the things I think that could have shot it up a little more, right? But also, because I mentioned the objectives, a lot of the stuff is similar to the base game, so it's nothing outside the norm, at least in my opinion, from what was in the base game. There's some tweaks or some differences, without getting the spoilers, as to why some things might be slightly different, but it's nothing like so incredible or pushing the boundary. I'm like, oh my god, this was an awesome mission or something like that. I just thought all the missions were good to very good. Nothing exceptional, like something that I'll remember. And again, I don't expect that, but I'm just happy with getting good. If it goes great, great. I'm just glad to report there's nothing like terrible. There wasn't a mission where I'm like, oh my god. Now, there were missions I was maybe slightly disappointed with, because there's, for example, a ash storm that comes on in, and I was expecting it to pop in and out of the environment as you navigate it, but it's really set on where you're at and where the objective is. So I, for example, held at a base thinking the ash storm would eventually dissipate, and it never did. It won't dissipate until you get to the next base, which it does feel a little unfortunate. I get why they did it, but it's one of those things where I was like, oh, we're gonna wait, hold down, and I wish that would have been implemented in the game. I get why it's a lot more work if they don't, but still, just some minor nitpicks. And that's the thing, a lot of the stuff is minor. Truthfully, I enjoyed the campaign, and I think it's a good asking price, especially because it's not like the developers are charging like left and right. They've updating with mod support, which, by the way, you have content creators that are releasing really cool mods, including a mod of the original Starship Troopers like base defense, where just thousands of bugs are attacking you and you're just trying to hold the line. Like, that mission is just free for mods that you can play. The other aspect as well is they added a bunch of free scenarios you can play on, chemical warfare, along with some other stuff, and they have some future stuff coming out. So it's not like they're not updating this game. Now, do I think they're going to do something new, like another DLC? Probably not. I would expect Starship Troopers Terran Command 2 or something like that. But the DLC itself is $10, and I think, especially if you like Terran Command, this is more of the same stuff with some added twists based on the story and the environment, which, again, I think they did a good job. Now, again, if you weren't a fan of that, this isn't going to change your mind, but I still think it's a good entry, and I enjoyed my time with it. So I would recommend it, but again, with those caveats in mind. But what do you guys think? Leave your comments down below and let me know. Again, I'm very curious to see what other people think of this DLC, and also maybe even a bit of the story. And does it, in your opinion, fit the Starship Troopers, like, sort of, I don't say canon, but kind of that atmosphere and the kind of that world, right? Let me know. This has been Greyshot17, hopefully covering more strategy games like this in the future, and I'll see you all next time. Hello everyone, this is Greyshot17, and before y'all go, let me give a special shout out to Patreon supporters Joey G240, Milam, Big Cooch, Aphyria, Ace, Pyro Shark, Tonybee 95, Epic Pleb. Thank you all for your incredible support and helping me grow my channel and support my channel and everything I do. Thank you, and to the rest of you, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.